And welcome to the Irie Insurance pregame show here on YourLiveEvent.com and alongside Three Border Sports Network, Three Border Sports Network, Your Live Event. I'm Chase Miller. He's Brian Watson, and James Martins is on the sideline. Irie Insurance is your trusted personal business farm and insurance provider. For more information, go online to IrieINS.com. That again is IrieINS.com. The East will receive. And Brian, I think this is about as quick in between Tri-Bowl games that we will probably ever see here on Three Borders in Your Live Event.
I think this is the fastest intermission I've ever seen. It's to get the guys out here, get the national anthem done, get the coin flip done, and let's get going. They want to try and get this game in as quickly as they can so that we don't have to go through the delays that we went through in game number 1 in the 11-man game, and hopefully they can get the 9-man game in here without interruption.
And this game also brought to you in part by our friends at Gate City Bank. James Martins is roaming the sidelines. James, what do you feel down there on the sidelines? Here's the 11-man crowd as came and went, so to speak, and the 9-man crowd is making their way here for this one.
Well, Chase, you know, the atmosphere is a little chilly down here in Mayville, but I tell you what, they're diehard fans out here. They've stuck it out. It's not for the faint of heart, right? We say in the state of North Dakota with sports and anything, and Shrine Bowl is no exception to that through all the rain delays. Hopefully we get in at least a good solid quarter or two before any rain comes. I think 8:45, 9 o'clock is when the next shower, next system is supposed to come through, but everybody's ready for some football, and these 9-man kids want to show everybody here that it's what they stayed for is worth it.
Yeah, and this is going to be 10-minute quarters with a 2-minute stoppage, so to speak, after the 2 minutes. So no 2-minute warning, but very similar to a college game in terms of once it goes to 2 minutes, you get out of bounds or anything, they will go from there. And actually now we just have a lightning delay right on cue, meteorologist James Martins, right on cue here. So we're going to have a 30-minute delay. So it is 8:27 right now. Fortunately, we were able to get the 11-man game over with 21-0 once they got going with 4.5 minutes in the second quarter. It really moved quickly, but unfortunately now we will have a rain delay. So we'll take a quick pause for a good cause here on our Irie Insurance pregame show. Why don't we give you an update at around 8:45 is when we'll come back here, give or take, and hopefully around 9 o'clock you're probably looking roughly, again, nothing official, roughly, Brian, and I hate to say this, but it's the same old song and dance here from the 11-man game, and the only difference is the 9-man team hasn't kicked off yet, so that's the only difference compared to the 11-man game where they sat around a little while, then they finally got their first
Yeah, they're not
going to
get out here, get going, and then go sit down, so they'll just hold off their start a little bit and just delay the game, and then once we get going, they'll be ready to hit hard.
All right, we're going to step away here for a moment on our Irie Insurance pregame show. Again, 8:45, give or take, is when we'll come back and give you an update from Jeromeburg Field on the campus of Mayville State. This is the North Dakota Shrine Bowl on Three Border Sports Network and YourLiveEvent.com. And we're still in a delay at the current moment here, part of our Irie Insurance pregame show. The good news, we are seeing some of the East nine-man football players, albeit without their helmets, Brian, making their way from the northwest portion of the Jeromeburg field. I'm Chase Miller. He's Brian Watson, and alongside James Martins here, part of our three-person crew. But same old song and dance as we said before, Brian, and since we kind of went to break at the bottom of the hour here, there's really no particular update, but from what we've seen for the weather for most of the day, it kind of seems very similar. If there is any rain, we'll talk to James about that in a moment. It's very light, but currently in a delay right now with the lightning pattern. That
we just hope that the lightning strikes kind of calm down. And according to the rules and the trainers that are here, we have to take a 30-minute delay anytime there's a lightning strike within an 8-mile radius. And that's where we're at right now. There is a little bit of blue sky starting to peek through a little bit, and we hope that means that we can get this thing underway on time after this delay, and then once we get going, hopefully we don't have to stop.
James, on the football field, what's the weather conditions like in terms of wind, in terms of rain? What do you see down there, James?
Yeah, it's just a slight breeze right now. We've got, as Brian was mentioned, those blue skies moving on through, but still some cloudy skies for the most part, probably about 80% clouds, maybe 20% blue skies.
Let's take a look at some of the athletes that are going to be on display in this nine-man contest. Brian and I were just talking about a cat from Hankinson, Cruz Hernandez, a second-team All-State football player. He holds many school records in basketball, over 1,000 career points. From your neck of the woods down there, Brian, a kid that, if this is his last time ever playing a quote-unquote, no intramurals or stuff of that nature in terms of a competitive game, that's someone to take your pen out and circle it and say this could be a really good football player, basketball player, any player that he plays a particular sport in.
Yeah, it's hard when you find an athlete that is explosive in every single sport that he does. You can have a kid who's good at football or whatever, and then he plays basketball or plays baseball or runs track. But Cruz Hernandez, very good at any sport that he takes up. And we've seen him on the football field, we've seen him on the basketball court, and we've seen him on the track. And, for him, this could be, his last hurrah, one of the last things that he does as a high school athlete. Don't know if he's going to go on to play in college. So just another chance for him to get out here and display his talents. And
from the other side, from the West, there's a handful of guys that are also heading on to play collegiately, and some of those that were able to make their way into the postseason. I look at a Wyatt Carballo from Divide County. They played against West Hope Newburgh, Brian, in a game that finished in the playoffs 70-66. Was the final in a nine-man postseason game between the Maroons and the Sioux. Yes, you can still say that word here in North Dakota. But I look at some of these guys like that, and you look at their stories, whether they're first team, second team All-State, or heading to college. There's just a handful of really fun stories that we talked about in the 11-man game that we're going to get to here in the nine-man football game as well.
Yeah, the nine-man is just a little different beast, but it has its own unique flavor. And like you said, you go to a football game and a basketball game breaks out with the high scoring, and that's kind of the action that we expect to see in this game. Kind of fast-paced, high scoring, hopefully, and just see these kids get on this field and play one last time and put on a big show.
And James, I know you came from the geographical center of North America, so you know some of the North Prairie kids pretty well here, and there's one, and Nicholas Mears, an NDSU football commit. How many times were you able to see him play, and what kind of a dude is he, or DAWG dog, as the kids now say nowadays on the football field?
Well, all you have to do is ask head coach Josh Keller, and he'll tell you everything you need to know about this kid. I mean, we got a chance at Rugby Broadcasters to follow North Prairie through the postseason, and he just dominated. He was all over the field. He accounted for, I think, when I did the math in the postseason, 75 to 80% of all of North Prairie's touchdowns he was in on. Whether he ran it or passed it or special teams, whatnot, he was in on it. So he is basically Mr. North Prairie, and I got to tell you, I nicknamed him, along with outgoing junior, incoming senior at North Prairie, Blake Matson, the M&M line, or M&M backfield, as it was Mears and Matson. That was pretty much all it was for head coach Josh Keller, who's on the nine-man East squad as a coach. And that's his bread and butter, and that's the bread and butter of a lot of nine-man, is just run it down your throat and see if they can stop you. And it certainly worked for North Prairie, getting all the way to the semifinals, playing a great game against New Salem Almont.
Yeah, and the one thing about nine-man football is some kids from probably the age of 4 to 5 to, roughly 11 or 12 are now starting to have their own football field here at Jerome Burke Field, starting to get their own football game going on. When you take a look at these coaches, Brian, and you're a coach as well at Wahpeton High School, for the coaches that are in these particular games that get to coach their respective players one more time, how much more does that mean to be nominated and have a chance one more time with a particular senior athlete, as James was talking there with North Prairie with Nicholas Mears, for example, just being the example here?
I just think it's special. You form a certain relationship with your kids and with your players. When your regular season is done, you kind of say goodbye to them, and then now you get an opportunity to get on the field and coach them one last time. And for me as a basketball coach, there may be certain things that I want to run that I know my player can do, or certain things that I want to do, and you get a chance to do that so you can showcase them a little bit more. Yeah, you're coaching the entire team, but you get a chance to have that little special relationship. You have some of those inside things that you do, and it's just nice to have someone to keep you comfortable while you're coaching the game.
And again, the tip of the cap to all the coaches here. Mitch Greenwood from Cavalier, which, by the way, the Tornadoes are heading to 11-man next season. If you go to the High School Activities Association website, they already got them to what region they're going to be next year in 11A. Mind you, we're going back to 3A, 2A, 1A, and 9-man coming up here up in the fall, so that'll be coming up a little bit different. But Mitch Greenwood, Josh Keller, Adam Sola, Jason Moneylaws on the east. On the west, Steve Kleingen, Jamie Krenz, Corey Davis, and alongside Connor Hill. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll get you some more information as that comes along here in a moment. This is part of our extended IRA Insurance pregame show from Jerome Burke Field in the 2023 North Dakota 9-man All-Star Game.
Did you know that there are several different types of crop hail insurance policies? Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with IRE Insurance. We at IRE Insurance want to help you select a hail policy that will best protect your crops and bottom line from a hailstorm. Give us a call today to schedule a time to meet with an IRE Insurance agent. For our contact information, go to our website at ireins.com.
You're protected and appreciated at IRE.
IRE Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Insurance is an important safety net for your family, your home, and your business. Carlson Family Insurance Agency is your local auto owner's insurance provider. At Carlson Family Insurance, they work for their clients, not the companies. Customer service and satisfaction is their #1 goal. Give Carlson Family Insurance a call for all of your personal, farm, business, and crop insurance needs. 701-672-6002 or at cfiagency.com. Carlson Family Insurance, your auto owner's insurance agent.
Emery Vistos Implement has been family-owned and operated since 1935. Located in Oaks, North Dakota, they sell CarQuest automotive parts and numerous lines of agriculture parts, from edible bean equipment to air compressors and pressure washers. Plus, you'll have to stop by and check out their Ariat clothing selection at Emery Vistos Implement. Anything you need is under one roof. Stop in just south of Oaks on Highway 1 or go online to vistoimplement.com. That's vistoimplement.com. The Hillsborough Central Valley Booster Club would like to congratulate Peter Dryberg, Riley Olson, Easton Baszler, and Coach Scott Olson on representing the boroughs during the North Dakota Shrine Bowl. The Hillsborough Central Valley Booster Club is made up of parents, fans, and community members who work together to build team and community spirit and are proud of all the borough's accomplishments throughout the school year. Congratulations again to Peter, Riley, Easton, and Coach Olson on being part of the Shrine Bowl.
As we come back here on Three Border Sports Network and YourLiveEvent.com, I want to thank everybody here part of the broadcast today. Joe Schreiner, who is on the play-by-play and does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff here for this particular Shrine Bowl game with Three Border Sports Network and Your Live Event. I'm Chase. He's Brian. James, part of our three-man crew in this one. Joey and Chad also doing some behind-the-scenes work for us. And Brian, you have an updated time here. Again, stuff can change if the weather, it goes in a good favor, but right now we're not in a good favor with some of these lightning strikes. So what's the latest that you have, Brian, and when we might be looking to get on the football field and get this one kicked off?
I like how you turned me into the bearer of bad news. I like that.
I want to let you do it because you're a coach. You've had to tell someone, Chase, you're going to be the sixth man. Or Chase, I'm sorry you're not varsity this year. You got to play JV. I think you're better at that than what I am, Brian.
Let's just say it's okay. I'm used to having people not happy with me. So Latest update that I have is they will not start any earlier than 9:30. That's
Okay.
kind of what they're shooting for right now. Again, anytime there's a lightning strike within 8 miles, they have to go to that half-hour window. And right now, 9:30 is what we've been told as far as the earliest restart.
So we were talking about the 11-man game, which was supposed to kick off at 4, got roughly underway at 4:35. 8:27 was the very first delay here, and we were about ready to kick off at 8:30. So monkey see, monkey do, if you will. We're back into the same old song and dance. But some other players that we can kind of make note of here. I think of Ty Wolding from New Salem Almont, a really good wrestler, a quality football player. He's heading to Dickinson State University. And part of that Holstein's team, if there's some high school tradition that I love, is when they bring the offensive linemen and the guys that come out in the cattle guard, right, out there in New Salem with New Salem Sioux, and they bring them out, Brian. I know every team does their own little styles and traditions. I'm surprised OSHA hasn't came on or said anything in a good way, but those stories that you hear and you see the highlights of, that's something that makes high school sports in general, whether it's slapping a brick wall or having some type of tradition from players from yesteryear coming through this year. The Holsteins, I think, have one of the better ones in the state for high school football.
Yeah, certainly. Those are the things that you like about high school football, high school sports, small town sports, if you will. And to have a tradition like that, I think it's hard to beat. And, for us that play 11-man or whatever, a big school sports, it's hard to beat some of those small town traditions that you have. And I think it's cool to see. And that New Salem Alma team was very good and kind of, that's their model. That's kind of what they do. And very good football team, very good football program. And again, it's just nice to see those traditions, those small town traditions, 9-man traditions, whatever you want to see. It just makes the game special.
And one 9-man tradition, talking with some of the Mayport CG Patriot kids, this is their actual high school football field that they play on as well. They talked about the local sub shop in town. When I asked them what was one of your favorite memories or traditions, every one of them said we always went to the local sub shop before we had a Friday night kickoff, got some food in us, listened to some music, relaxed, and then got ready for a football game. How much is routine? How much is little things like that superstition, Brian, whether it's on your teams that you've coached, teams that you've been a part of, how much is that talked about or not talked about? Because it seems like when it's going well and you randomly put on a song and everybody had a really good game, everybody wants to go back to that song without saying it. But how much does that ever get brought up from a coaching standpoint?
I don't think it gets brought up, but I know that there are players that have their traditions. And, as coaches, we may not know all of them, but there's certainly girls who do certain things before the game or boys who do certain things before the football game. I know me as a player, I always wore a stripe on one leg and a white sock on the other leg. And if we won, I would keep it on that leg. And if we lost, I would move it and just leave it there until whatever change happens. So everybody has their own little rituals that they do. It is what it is. You just think that, hey, I need to do this, or I always do this. And I think for players, from Mayport CG that play on this field, for them to play in this type of game and do that stuff one more time, something that's special and something that they will go through that ritual for the last time and say, hey boys, we gotta go have our sub before we play, and we got to do this. And it's just kind of the way that it works. And as an athlete, everybody has their little special thing that they do.
And if you missed any of our coverage of the 11-man game, you can go to Three Border Sports Network. You can go to yourliveevent.com, rewatch it. We had a really good interview with Imperial Sir that was met, Sturlocks, and some of the kids that were out here too that have been in the Shriners Hospital too. Brian, a lot of stories that, as much as, it's nice to highlight the kids, highlight the coaches one time as all-stars, what we're really here for in terms of the Shriners. And the one thing that always gets brought up during the week when the kids get to the campus here at Mayville State, they always allow the players, the coaches, those that are involved, to go back to the Shrine Hospital to find a way to see what this kind of game, the exposure, maybe some, honestly, at the end of the day, the revenue from this game that goes back to the Shrine Hospital, who it really impacts and who it really touches. And those are really fun stories that people can go go watch back on Three Borders in Your Life event.
Yeah, I think that, some kids may come into this game and they may not know anything about the Shriners Hospital. They know that it's an all-star game or whatever, but they don't really know what it's about and what the game benefits. And I think they get here, they get shown that. And I think for them, it can change their life as a player. And I think sports, as we always talk about, it's just learning through sports, right? And it's just a microcosm of life, and we're trying to do these things and learn these things. And I think, yeah, you're a good athlete, but you become a better person from the things the experiences that you have on the field or on the court. And in a game like this, it's a big life experience, and it's something that you can really take away from, and it can change a person's life, both for the player and for the patient too as well.
We're going to take a quick pause here. We'll come back in about 20 minutes or so, around 9:20, once we kind of know some more information. Again, we expect roughly at the bottom of the hour at 9:30 to get going. If they start before that, we will come back immediately before 9:20 and get things underway. This is our extended Irie Insurance pregame show, your trusted personnel, business, and farm insurance provider. They remind you to be on the lookout for farm machinery on the roadways, even during the summer months, and as you get ready for the upcoming harvest season in the fall. Visit Irie Insurance online at IRIEINS.com. That again is IRIEINS.com. We'll take a quick pause when we come back at around 9:20 for the latest update from Jerome Burke Field. This is the North Dakota 9-Man Shrine Bowl game on 3 Border Sports Network and your liveevent.com.
Dakota Heritage Bank, serving you with 10 locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota, has a strong background in ag and business lending, but they can also help with auto, recreational, personal, or home loans, including home equity lines of credit. Dakota Heritage Bank is a family-owned community bank where decisions are made locally. Our friendly staff greets you with a smile, takes the time to get to know you, and can help you with your banking needs. Visit us online, dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
There's more at 104. Hillsborough, North Dakota has everything you need on your next road trip. Food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sights or stay the night so you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsborough and see why there's more at 104.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsborough.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent
And welcome back here on the campus of Jerome Berg Field at Mayville State University. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show, and the officials are hustling onto the field because guess what? We got kickoff here, Brian, between the West and the East All-Stars.
This is the first time I've seen the players lined up and ready to go before the officials.
As we get the kickoff here on the tee. At the 40-yard line, 10-minute running clock here on our Thunder Seed scoreboard. It kicked end over end as this one will go to the East team as this will be right about to the 10-yard line. There's Cruz Hernandez, shake and bake to the 25, breaks a tackle. Uh-oh, look out, 30, 35, 40, 45. He gets to the 50, puts the helmet down, and he drags himself to the 45-yard line. Cruz Hernandez starts it with a bang.
And that's what we've seen from Cruz Hernandez all year. We did a couple games down there. Weimar Lidgewood against Hankinson, and he can break it at any time. A track athlete as well, and showing off the speed there right to start off the game.
So the East will take over here in quarter number one in positive territory. And, Brian, I don't remember that happening in any kickoffs in the 11-man game.
In the 11-man game, not happening.
So they'll come out here in their white bottoms with the gray tops with North Dakota across the front as the 9-man East team with Nicholas Myers from North Prairie. The NDSU Bison commit will come out in a shotgun formation. 4-down lineman. Handoff comes up the middle here as this one is going to go to Andrew Arth. The Weimar Lidgewood Products makes his way to the 41-yard line.
Arth, a load. We've seen him on camera too as well. Weimar Lidgewood really toes the load down there for the Warbirds.
As this will be able to get a couple of yards, a gain of 3 here on our Thunder Seat scoreboard as they'll split out one wide receiver, still in that shotgun formation again on the way here with Nicholas Mears. Mears back to Arth on the way, and he's able to bust to the 35, close to the first down. Looks like they'll give him enough. Yes, they will. 8 yards and a first down on the way.
Yeah, Eric Smoen in there on the tackle from Divide County, making the stop.
And this is what we've seen here for the Weimar Lidgewood Warbirds product and Scott Stringy, the first-team All-State running back. When he was healthy, Brian, the Warbirds really were a different football team in that region.
He did miss a couple games with some injuries, but when he's full strength, he is tough to stop.
In a moment, we'll go down to James Martins and get the grasp on the field here after this play. Shotgun formation again, little zone read handoff. Kept on the way as this will be with Nicholas Mears, and Mears is met up at the line at about the 34-yard line. James, the first couple of plays there, what are you seeing there on the sidelines?
Well, here's what I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing a lot of slips, not seeing a lot of falls, that sort of thing. So despite all the weather, all the rain, the field looks to be in pretty good condition.
Thanks for the turf the last couple of years here at Jerome Berg Field at Mayville State. As this one will go to the 33-yard line, shotgun formation, split out on either side. As you're going to see some of the view here with the post, but that's just because of the weather delay and the weather that has been making its way here through Mayville. So we'll do our best to give you the commentating on it. Mears, quick drop. This one overthrown, intended wide receiver of Landon Carter from Cavalier.
Carter open it with there, just overthrown. And number 45.
As
Eric's mowing in there on the defense.
And Carter, a 5-sport Brian athlete, not 4-sport, a 5-sport. Also did hockey with Grafton Park River Cavalier. How about that?
I don't know how you do that. I thought 3 was enough, but 5, come on.
Football, hockey, basketball, baseball, and why not bring out the pitching wedge to add on to it. 2.5 minutes. It's going to be running clock throughout again until you get to the final 2 minutes of either half. Mears rolls left-hand side, going to keep it to the numbers. Has the first down to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Slithers his way. Is he in the end zone? He's down at the 1. A 33-yard rush and a first down brought to you in part by our first down sponsor here with Carlson Family Insurance.
And what I like about that play is you had Cruz Hernandez out there on the fly pattern and then turned around and became a blocker and able to open up a couple extra yards there down to the goal line.
So now we're going to have a ball at the 1-yard line here for the East All-Stars, as this one will come out with Nicholas Mears.
A little bit of Arth here, I think.
And the zone read, we'll see if that is the play call coming up here. Zone read option, that goes right to Art, trying to bounce his way, stretches to the goal line. He's in there for a touchdown. Drawing first blood on our Thunder Seat scoreboard with 6:47 left in the first quarter is Andrew Arth from Team East.
So just like regular season there, just picking up right where he left off, right off tackle and into the end zone.
As that one is able to go from 10 to 6:47 and goes 44 yards for the touchdown here with Arth, and they'll come on, which we don't normally see in 9-man football, Brian, is the extra point. So we'll see the 2-point conversion coming up. Mears with Arth to his right. The offensive line doing a good job opening up some holes so far here for the East All-Stars as well. Coming off the edge, Mears looking, and he'll slip it in for the 2-point conversion as Team East with Colton Ness from Lemoore Litchfield Marion with the 2-point conversion. With 6:39 left to play here in the first quarter, it's a Thunder Seed scoreboard touchdown here for Team East on yourliveevent.com.
Do you want that new boat? Are you building onto your home? Maybe you want the new camper or ATV. Dakota Heritage Bank can help you. This is Dustin Nagel, president at Dakota Heritage Bank Hillsborough location. You can visit with me or our other loan officers to help with loans and lines of credit from Dakota Heritage Bank. We are serving you with locations in North Dakota and Northwest Minnesota. Dakota Heritage Bank offers financial services you expect with a local perspective. dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, equal housing lender, member DIC.
As we come back here on yourliveevent.com, Chase Miller alongside Brian Watson, and with him is James Martins. Brian, what did you particularly like about that 44-yard touchdown drive for the East?
Just keeping it on the ground. I like Andrew Arth up the middle. And the line, again, you're missing the tackles there, but you have the line open up those holes, and Arth able to do what he does.
As the East will put this one on the tee at the 40-yard line. It's a pop-up kick. Look at this one come straight up. They got a fair catch it. Able to fair catch that one for the West was Isaac Charbonneau here from St. John. And Charbonneau there was able to make that one. That was almost, Brian, like you kick it off the turf and bring it right back up.
That was straight up into the air. You couldn't do it any better. It's almost like you're trying to do an onside kick, about a 10-yard onside kick. And that thing could have bounced off of the West and right into the hands of the East.
So the West will take it. They're in the red tops with the white bottoms here. And as Joe said in the 11-man game, don't look at the helmet because there is multitude of different colors and logos. As they go under center, will be a quick sneak on the way for Ty Wolding, the New Salem Almont Holstein product, the first-team All-State linebacker, able to move his way for about 3 yards.
Yeah, that's something that you see a little bit in 9-man, just right up the middle. Little quarterback sneak, pick up a couple yards.
As we'll see what the line can do here for the West All-Stars in this 9-man game. In the East game, I thought the line play for the East really was maybe a difference maker. So far here, Brian, the East did a pretty good job on their first drive.
Yeah, the East in the 11-man game was a difference maker. That front line was was massive up there.
Wolding under center here. This will be pitched back. They're looking to throw the football here with Kyler Card, and Card is taken down. In the backfield, Jacob Steele from Cavalier. It was a one-hopper, if you will, and that's going to be a loss of about 7 yards.
Trying to skip it back there. That ball thrown behind the line, so still a live ball, and just nothing downfield, and tackle for a loss there.
I don't think we saw too many trick plays offensively from the 11-man game, Brian. That is the first wrinkle, if you will, of the Shrine Bowl.
But that's something that you see in all-star games. Try and put a little wrinkle in here and there and see if you can catch somebody off guard.
As now it's going to be 3rd and 15 as they will need to get to the 47, and we have a Bank North timeout. We'll break with them here with 5:23 left to play in the first quarter. Timeout brought to you in part by our friends at Bank North here on yourliveevent.com.
As an American Family agent, I look out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Chris Heisey. Visit me online at chrisheisey.com. These days, everyone wants to save money. I can show you how easy it is by having multiple policies. By combining your auto and homeowner's insurance, I can put some change back into your pocket. My website again is chrisheisey.com. I want to be your American Family agent.
American Family Insurance.
Timeouts again brought to you in part by our friends at Bank North. Go to ibanknorth.com, member FDIC, and proud supporter of their communities. 3rd and 15, Wolding play action, rolls out to the right-hand side, throws across his body, and it's intercepted by the East. Jacob Steele with the pick. He makes his way to the 42-yard line, and that one, don't throw across your body, and you just found out why. Steele with the INT.
Just a tough throw, threw it into the crowd there, and Steele right in the middle, able to go up high for the interception. And like we saw in the first game, turnovers were the difference. It gave a couple extra possessions to the East, and they took full advantage of it.
James, what did you see on that one that kind of got popped up there in the air?
Well, I mean, let's just go. This drive was made possible by Jacob Steele. I mean, he's the man of steel for this 9-man East defense. A big tackle and then that interception. Wolding was just trying to make something happen. Didn't work out for him, and Steele was right there to pick it off.
Second straight possession here for the East to start with in positive territory at the 41. Motion man is Landon Carter with the football here. Mears breaks a tackle, able to shake and bake to the 40, 35, 30, has a first down and more. 20, 15, 10, 5 is he in the end zone, but we have our first hanky that is yellow. We didn't see it at all in the 11-man game, and this, Brian, might be a block in the back of where we're seeing it at the 8-yard line.
Where it is, that's all that it has to be, a block in the back, maybe a hold down there late. It's going to be a hold, it looks like.
So they'll take him back from the spot foul. Still be a first down, brought to you in part by our friends here with with our friends at Carlson Family Insurance, but take it to the 19. That's still a positive of plus 22.
I'm still trying to figure out how Mears got away from Blake Braun. Braun had him drop down there, and Mears able to slip away.
And I think we had another lightning strike on the field here.
Here come the officials walking on the field.
So we're fortunate to get 5 minutes of football on, as we will start this at 9:22 for a lightning delay. We start, Brian, looking up at the clouds. Are you a Harry Potter fan at all?
No.
Okay, I was going to say it looks like a Lord Voldemort setting right now, which is not good. I was just saying, when you look up at the sky right now, James, are you a Harry Potter fan at all?
No.
Okay, well then I made that reference with nobody being a Harry Potter fan. That's all right. But you look up at the sky, all that we're missing is the skull and the Slytherin snake coming across right there. So Harry Potter 1, everybody none. Okay.
I would have just said Ghostbusters, but that's okay.
All right, Ghostbusters. Now we see the age difference between Brian and myself a little bit here. So the officials are talking it over with the coaches, and this is exactly what we saw in the 11-man game, Brian, when we saw a couple of delays where the officials would come out. The trainers immediately said, hey, let's, kind of put this one in reverse here because of what we saw. And once that play got done and the flag came out, you could see, even from our vantage point, a little lightning strike off in the distance in the northern side here of Jeromeburg Field. And you kind of saw a couple of people down below go, really, again?
Yeah, and
one more time.
As I look out to the east, normally it's been maybe some openings that are out in the east, but now it looks pretty dark and gray. And it's going to be a matter of, are we going to be able to get the game in at all?
We haven't really talked about a curfew rule, I don't think, ever at the Shrine Bowl. I know for a lot of teams, and in particular, midnight is always the kind of hour, if depending on how you want to start stuff. But in this particular case, Brian, the question does have to become, how late is too late to resume? We still have time on our side, but if you go by the average of half hour to 45 minutes for a lot of these delays, if you take it for what it is right now, almost at 9:30, that means roughly at around 10 when we get going. And if there's another delay after that, then all of a sudden you're talking about maybe 11 o'clock, playing Shrine Bowl here.
Yeah, you're starting to get to a point where, it's not almost worth doing it. And, we're just we're not even through the first quarter. And I just have a feeling that it could be tough to get this entire game in. I think they may – you want to get as much of the game in as you can, but they may make some adjustments to shorten the game and still play a complete game. And if they get a window, you're going to have to go as quickly as you can, do the running time, and maybe shorten the quarter lengths even more, and just so you can get the complete game in.
And it's different, too, whether it's heat lightning or non-heat lightning, but some of these strikes are not so much the heat lightning variety that we're talking about here with these particular delays. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back after about a couple of minute break, we'll try to give you as much information once the officials, once the coaches, once the personnel there at the 50-yard line kind of go over it a little bit more once we receive any word. But if you just go by the normal law here that we've had today, lightning strike, half hour, go from there. That we paused at 9:22. So now the officials will go back to their respective – this feels like a boxing match, right? You go back to your respective corners, get some water on you. Hopefully you don't have to get stitched up too much, and we'll know more information from there. We'll be back from Jeromeburg Field in a little bit. This timeout brought to you in part by Bank North. We'll break with them here on your liveevent.com.
I'm Katie with First Community Credit Union, and we're here with Dakota Dirt Coffee.
We chose First Community Credit Union because, first and foremost, they're right in our community of Milton, North Dakota, And the convenience of that and being able to know the people that we're dealing with, that's something that we can't get anywhere else. I would say FCCU could be best described as a full-service financial institution that's offered and available in a local community.
Olson County would like to congratulate Bowden Greenlee and Grant Lyons on being selected to the North Dakota Shrine Bowl and representing the Lisbon Broncos. Bowden Greenlee is a 5-time state wrestling champ and will continue his wrestling career at North Dakota State University. Grant Lyons is an all-state lineman and will continue his football career at North Dakota State College of Science. For more information on Olson Accounting, visit colsoncpa.com.
Watch me. Watch my first step turn to leaps and bounds. Watch me play carefree while the world goes round. Listen to me join in with every girl and boy. Screams of happiness, limitless joy. Watch me run through the grass and sand. They said I would, now I can. Watch me. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Located on the beautiful Goose River in Hillsboro, the Goose River Golf Club offers both recreational and experienced golfers a great round. It's a 9-hole course open to the public, located right off exit 104 on I-29. The Goose River Golf Club in Hillsboro offers annual memberships for singles and families, also college memberships, first-time memberships, and outside 30-mile radius of Hillsboro membership available as well. Men's Day is Wednesday, Ladies' Day is Tuesday. You can learn more about getting on the Goose River Golf Club, gooserivergolfclub.com.
The Hillsboro Central Valley School Districts are proud of Coach Scott Olson's time with the Burros and want to thank him, the entire coaching staff, and players for your dedication and your time to the football program. Hillsboro Central Valley School Districts are proud to have Peter Dryberg, Riley Olson, Easton Baszler, and Coach Scott Olson representing the Burros during the North Dakota Shrine Bowl. The Hillsboro Central Valley School Districts wishes everyone a safe and fun summer and best of luck in your future endeavors.
A better way of life is better days off and better nights in. Better hellos and better goodbyes. With locally approved, financed, and serviced home loans, Gate City Bank makes buying a home simple. Welcome to a century of better banking. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
There's more at 104. Hillsboro, North Dakota has everything you want in a hometown. Business opportunities, great jobs, and a top-notch school. Shovel-ready lots for your next idea. Great jobs in manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture. An excellent education for your kids with small class sizes and lots of school spirit. Plus easy access to I-29 and the conveniences of North Dakota's largest cities. Build your future in Hillsboro and see why there's more. 104.
As we're back here at Jerome Berg Field, let's just do a recap after the latest information brought to you in part by Brian Watson, always bringing you the good news. Brian, take it away.
I play all the hits. Well, what we found out is that there's a lightning strike 1 mile away, so that puts us into a 30-minute delay again. And so that, they're going to wait the 30 minutes, and if we can get the game started, we will. But it sounds like if we can't get the thing started before 10 o'clock,
that's curfew.
They may just call it. And I'm not sure, if we can start and go past 10 o'clock. No one said that, but that's kind of, what the word is that if we can't get the thing started by 10 o'clock, it's going to be done. If we start and then there's another delay, then we'll be done as well, too.
So fingers crossed that roughly at 10 o'clock, once we get going again, that we can get at least the first half of football in bare minimum, I think, because some of these kids, Brian, even though, yes, it's a 9-man squad compared to 11, some of these guys haven't really touched the field yet that were nominated and put the week work of effort and time and effort into at least get a little sweat, if you will, on that shoulder pad.
Yeah, you've earned your way here. You'd like to be able to play. You got parents here. You got fans here. And, for the 9-man game, before we started, we're like, oh, maybe there's not very many people. But once the game got started, the stands really filled in. So there's people here that want to see this game. I know people are frustrated, but, we have to fall on the side of safety. And that's what's happening right now. And we just have to go with what we've been told and follow the rules, and we'll see what happens.
What we're going to do is take a quick break. When we come back after this, we'll bring you an update if you're just joining us on what happened in the first 5 minutes and 6 seconds here, brought to you in part by Farmers Union Insurance of Hillsborough with Ryan Opdahl Agency. We'll do that after this here on yourliveevent.com.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Before you buy a new planter, research shows that upgrading key components on your existing planter can save you over 70% of the cost of new. Save $100 per row on automated downforce when you buy Delta Force from RDK Enterprises now through June 30th. Cash discounts are also available on qualifying purchase. Take advantage of these discounts and contact us today. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or doc.com.
It's the most prestigious, challenging, rewarding tour on dirt. The most wanted, baddest outlaws, and the most powerful late models on the planet. The world of outlaws, King's Late Models.
Did you know that there are several different types of crop hail insurance policies? Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with Irie Insurance. We at Irie Insurance want to help you select a hail policy that will best protect your crops and bottom line from a hailstorm. Give us a call today to schedule a time to meet with an Irie Insurance agent. For our contact information, go to our website at irieins.com.
You're protected and appreciated at Irie.
Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Wymer Auto, not just your auto parts service and repair shop, but your locally owned hardware store and so much more. Wymer Auto is your fast ag sprayer dealer with new in-stock sprayers. Also on hand, 3,000 to 5,000 gallon storage tanks. For the largest inventory of Alto's lawnmowers, Wymer Auto is where it's at. Enjoy the convenience of zero-turn radius mowing with enhanced durability and stability. Wymer Auto is now hiring a truck mechanic. For more details, give them a call at 701-439-2259.
Successful teams need a place to practice when the weather doesn't cooperate or the teams just need an extra swing. The Mayport Youth Center provides that option for the Mayport CG School District, summer baseball and softball teams. The Mayport Youth Center is an indoor facility that includes batting cages and field turf. In the winter, the facility is home to the Mayport Ice Dog hockey team. Good luck to the Mayport CG Patriots from the Mayport Youth Center.
As we come back here, we'll get to our in-game update brought to you in part by Ryan Opdahl with Farmers Union Insurance of Hillsborough. From home, auto, business, life, and farm insurance, visit the agency in downtown Hillsborough or call 701-436-5777. The East started with a bang with the Cruz Hernandez. Got it at the 10, got it all the way to the 44-yard line of East territory, and then 3 minutes and 13 seconds later, they pounded it in with a 1-yard touchdown brought to you in part by the Wymer Lidgewood product in Andrew Orth, and it was really set up by some pretty nice plays as well by Nicholas Mears from North Prairie. He was able to get a 2-point conversion to Colton Ness completed from the Lemoore Litchfield Marion product, and then an interception thrown by Ty Wolding picked off at about the 50-yard line at midfield by the Cavalier Tornado product in Jacob Steele. And well, we were almost going to get another touchdown by the East in a Nicholas Mears kind of QB scramble on the far sideline before there was a block in the back, and that's where you are right now. If we do come back, it would be 1st and 10 East at the West 19-yard line. That update again brought to you in part by Farmers Union Insurance in Hillsborough with Ryan Opdahl. Fellas, let's kind of recap the 11-man game first before we talk about some more of the players here in this one. But, Brian, in that 11-man game, 21-0, the East able to pick up the win. There was really good running by the running backs, I thought, by the East, but I also thought the East offensive line, whether it was a Christensen, whether it was a Bryce Kane, there was a Packer, a Nipstead, and a handful of others, Stafford on the line. They were, as Paul Allen would say, the moving company, and that was the East, really, I thought, in that 11-man football game.
Yeah, when you get to a level like this where you have a bunch of all-stars on the same team, as a coach, if you like to run the ball and you get the linemen that you want that can open the holes that you want and you can kind of do whatever you want, and then you get the backs back there, in Heinrich and Schneider, that can get it done and get through those holes. It's just everything that you want, and East kind of put everything together. It was like a game plan fit for them with those big guys up front, and then with the backs that they had in the backfield.
Yeah, and they had to go through about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, weather delays in some capacity. And talking with some of the West players, saying they had a banana, they had a granola bar. They were just kind of frustrated because, if there's a silver outlining on this, Brian, it's better to happen, I guess, in a roundabout way in a exhibition game like this than a 9-man playoff, 11-man playoff game. But you put all the time and effort in, you get nominated, you're an all-region, you're an all-state caliber kid. You come out here, you put the 4 or 5 days in, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's more of herky-jerky sit and wait than, okay, let's kick off, let's get 2 hours of football in, and then let's go devour some pizza or subs. As well, there might have been another lightning strike here at 9:37. So
pretty close.
That's very tough for coaches, obviously, but I think it's really tough for players because you never know when to turn it on, so to speak, 100 miles an hour the entire time.
I think as a player, you feel like it doesn't matter. You just want to go out there and play. You look out there, it looks it's not raining. For a while there in the 11-man game, the sun was out. So as a player, you're like, hey, why can't we go out and play? And you get a little bit frustrated, and I understand that. But like I said, as the committee has to look at it, they have to keep the safety of everyone in mind. And you can take it for what it's worth. You can come away with it with a good story. You can look back on it and go, oh yeah, I remember when I played in the Shrine game and we got delayed and got this and got that. You come away with some good stories and things like that, and it'll certainly be a memory for everyone. Because sometimes it's a memory for one player who has a really great game. You go, oh, I remember when that kid scored 4 touchdowns in the Shrine game or whatever. I think this is one that everybody will remember. Everyone will have their own stories that come out of it.
We'll bring James Martins on here in a moment about some of the players that he might kind of circle and say, hey, they had a really good high school career, or take a look at it, some kids out west. There's one out east that I just remember saying a ton covering Region 1 9-man football this year was Garrett Hebel, a linebacker and running back from Lamorlich O'Marion, a 160-pound state wrestling champ in Class B this year. If it was a ball run between the hashes, Hebel made the tackle, whether it was inside or outside the hashes. A lot of coaches would say when he played a team like a Cavalier, New Salem, Almont, Lemoore, against 90% of the teams, you can go through that line and make a guy miss. You're off for 50, 60 yards and a touchdown. But against the top quality of kids or the top players, you maybe got 5 yards and that was it. And that was a really, really, really good run. James, is there anybody like that you kind of see, whether it's on the west or the east here, that had a couple of particular moments where you said, hey, this particular athlete really stood out more so than others just in general in the game of football?
Well, there's a couple on the list here, especially on the 9-man East, that I look at more so not necessarily physically, but just if you want kids that will give you hope for the future, that will prove to you that humanity still exists. There are kids out there and they play 9-man football. Case in point, Bryce Prouty from North Star. Got a chance to talk to him. We did some preseason football previews around the region in rugby, and we went out to North Star. And Bryce Prouty said, hey, win or lose, whatever, but we want to be good husbands. We want to be good fathers. We want to be good men and community members, and we learn those skills on the football field. And that made me emotional. I'm crying right now just thinking about that amazing story, that amazing quote that Bryce Prouty left. So I wanted to make mention of that. And you mentioned, we've mentioned about multi-sport athletes. Guys like Mitchell Lease from North Prairie, wanted to make sure I give him a mention as well. I don't know if you guys know this, but he was an Elks free throw shooting champion back in his age group. So want to get that across.
And we just had another lightning delay, so this 9-man football game is going to be not officially postponed, but it's going to be officially canceled at 9:40. So we were supposed to kick off at around 8:27, got underway around 9:10. we're able to get 5 minutes of football in here on our Thunder Seat scoreboard. First in the field with 4 generations, with 3 families, and 1 strong seed development company. Your farm is always first with Thunder Seat. So we're going to do a modified post-game show that's going to be brought to you in part by Widemere Auto. Widemere Auto, you can talk to them coming up with their CarQuest Auto Parts. We thank Widemere Auto for their sponsorship and coverage for the last couple of seasons here of the North Dakota Shrine Bowl with Jim Huseth and the crew. Just kind of go off the highway. Don't have to go too far to Widemere Auto to get anything fixed up, whether it's farm machinery to what you maybe just need a good old oil change. They will take care of you at Widemere Auto. So our post-game show on this one, I don't know who you got for a player of the game, Brian. You know, you only have 5 minutes of actual football as the Lightning strikes are coming more fast and furious. It looks like an early 4th of July party out in the skies right now. But for the particular East and West players, is there one that stood out in the 5 minutes that we're able to say here for a particular player of the game?
Well, I mean, I was impressed with Andrew Arth. I've seen him play a couple times, and he did score the touchdown. But I'm going to tell you what, I was really impressed with Nicholas Mears. I had not seen him play, and he can get it done with his legs. Looks like he has a good arm. He has some escapability. I mean, I don't know how he got out of the tackle that he did and able to get all the way down into the end zone, and it was called back on a penalty. So, I mean, if we're giving players of the game, I'd go with Nicholas Mears and Andrew Arth in the shortened version.
And our RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the game, James, is it probably a particular run by a Nicholas Mears, as Brian was alluding to? Is that maybe your play of the game?
Yeah, that's definitely the one on offense. I want to make mention of Jake Steele's interception, too.
Big play.
Yeah, that really killed the momentum from the West. They were trying to get something going, and Wolding's a great player from New Salem Almont, but Steele killed it, and he showed up on defense. I want to make mention of him, too.
Those are RDK Enterprises feature precision plays of the game with locations in Hillsborough and Drayton. For precision planting updates, information, and questions, you can contact the folks at RDK Enterprises in Hillsborough and Drayton. Call 701-636-2119. Would like to thank our sponsor of Thunder Seat again, providing our scoreboard. Thanks to Irie Insurance for the pregame show. And thanks to Carlson Family Insurance. Brian, you can maybe talk to them a little bit more about them. Carlson Family Insurance providing our first down sponsorships, which, by the way, that was all pretty much either Arth in this one or Mears in this one, providing our first downs for the amount that we had. But Carlson Family Insurance, also good to have them on board on this particular
we appreciate
game.
Eric and the crew down there in Wapton.
Always a lot of fun. On behalf of everybody that was here with Joey, with Chad, with James, with Joe, with Brian, I'm Chase as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. That does it for our broadcast coverage here from Jeromeburg Field. In the 11-man contest, the East picks up the win 21-0 over the West. In the 9-man contest, they tried as darndest as they could to try to get the game in as best as possible. But Mother Nature, not so much with the rain, but with a good light show that's coming across, and officially got banged at 9:40 here, canceled with this one. So 2.5 possessions, the East with an 8-0 lead on our Thunder Seat scoreboard, but it is officially canceled. Brian, always a pleasure working with you guys in Three Borders. Thanks so much for your time, and drive home safely, as
Thanks,
they say.
Chase. We appreciate everything that YourLiveEvent.com did for us, and always a pleasure working with you guys.
You bet. Brian Watson, I'm Chase Miller. Thanks again to James Martins here for the minimized version of our 9-man game. If you missed any of the 11-man game, go online to Three Borders or alongside your live event. That does it from Jeromeburg Field. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.